On June 16, 2025, the Enforcement Directorate summoned Senior Advocate Arvind Datar, not for personal misconduct, but for a legal opinion he gave a client. This unprecedented move sent shockwaves through the legal community, raising fears that lawyers could be targeted simply for doing their jobs. The independence of the legal profession, essential for fearless, honest counsel, suddenly seemed under threat. The bar responded swiftly, recognizing that if lawyers must fear reprisal for their advice, the very foundation of justice is at risk. The ED's probe into Religar Enterprises led to Datar's summons, demanding he explain his legal advice on employee stock options. This crossed a red line. Lawyers are protected from being compelled to disclose privileged communications. Outrage swept the legal fraternity, who saw this as an attack on client-lawyer confidentiality. Under mounting pressure, the ED withdrew the summons, but the damage was done. The incident left a lasting mark, highlighting how easily professional independence can be threatened. The withdrawal ended the episode, but the legal community remained on high alert. The Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association, or SCAORA, issued a strong condemnation of the Enforcement Directorate's recent action, calling it not just an overreach, but a direct threat to the sanctity of the legal profession. SCAORA described the move as a clear misuse of power, warning that such actions could set a dangerous precedent for the future. The association emphasized that the independence of the bar is not just a tradition, but a cornerstone of the rule of law and the very foundation upon which the courts function effectively. If lawyers begin to fear harassment or intimidation simply for representing their clients or expressing legal opinions, then ordinary citizens will lose their right to fearless and effective legal representation. SCAORA reaffirmed that the principle of legal privilege is designed to protect the interests of clients, ensuring their communications remain confidential, and that this privilege must never be compromised or undermined by external pressure. The association's strong and unified response was not just about one incident, but a stand for the dignity and independence of the entire legal profession, making it clear that any attempt to intimidate lawyers would be firmly resisted. The message from SCAORA was unmistakable. The independence of the bar is non-negotiable, and the legal community will always defend its professional sanctity. SCAORA recently brought attention to a critical and often misunderstood issue in the legal profession: the dangerous fallacy of equating the act of giving legal advice with being complicit in a client's alleged wrongdoing. This misconception, if left unchecked, can have far-reaching consequences for the justice system and the very foundation of legal representation. A lawyer's primary responsibility is to interpret the law, explain its implications, and provide guidance to clients so they can make informed decisions. Lawyers are not the moral arbiters or enforcers of their clients' actions. Their role is to ensure that every individual has access to fair and unbiased legal counsel, regardless of the allegations they face. If lawyers were to be held responsible for the independent choices or alleged misdeeds of their clients, it would fundamentally undermine the trust and confidentiality that form the bedrock of the advocate-client relationship. This would erode professional privilege and discourage clients from seeking honest legal advice. The Supreme Court has, time and again, emphasized that lawyers must be able to advise their clients freely, without the looming threat of being implicated in their clients' actions. This protection is essential for the proper functioning of the legal system. Legal privilege is only lost if a lawyer knowingly participates in or furthers an illegal act. Simply providing legal advice, even to those accused of wrongdoing, does not strip away this fundamental protection. The Enforcement Directorate's recent actions ignored this crucial distinction, casting a shadow of suspicion over every legal advisor and threatening to make them potential suspects merely for doing their job. By taking a firm stand, SCAORA reaffirmed the vital principle that providing legal counsel is not the same as being complicit in a client's alleged misconduct, and that the independence of the legal profession must be protected. SCAORA warned that the Enforcement Directorate's move threatened not just an individual, but the very foundation of the bar and the judiciary, two pillars that uphold India's constitutional democracy. The independence of these institutions is not a mere formality, it is the bedrock on which justice and fairness rest. An independent judiciary depends on fearless advocates who can speak truth to power. If lawyers are intimidated or harassed for representing unpopular causes or clients, the entire system of justice is put at risk. The legal profession must remain free from external pressures to ensure that justice is truly served. Advocates must be able to argue cases boldly, even when their arguments challenge the state or powerful interests. Without the freedom to do so, lawyers may hesitate to take up difficult cases, and the public's faith in the legal system will erode. If lawyers begin to self-censor or avoid tough cases out of fear, the adversarial system, where both sides are heard fully, collapses. This not only weakens the defense of individual rights, but also undermines the very idea of justice. Judges rely on advocates for a full, fair presentation of cases. When advocates are silenced or intimidated, judges are deprived of the arguments and evidence they need to deliver complete justice. The entire process becomes one-sided and incomplete. By standing up for Datar, SCAORA was not just defending one lawyer, but was also protecting the integrity and independence of the entire justice system. Their actions sent a strong message that the legal community will not tolerate threats to its autonomy. The independence of the bar is essential for the rule of law and the protection of citizens' rights. Only when advocates are free to act without fear can justice truly prevail in society. The ED's summons sent a chilling message. Lawyers could be targeted for their professional work. This fear discourages robust legal advice and deters lawyers from taking sensitive cases. The result? Clients lose trust, fearing their confidences aren't safe. Without fearless advocacy, the public, especially those challenging the state, suffers most. SCAORA's stand is a reminder. The independence of the legal profession protects everyone's rights. Lawyers must be free to advise without fear of state harassment. Defending Datar was defending every citizen's right to justice.